trial I'm going to lose. I don't know anything about your case. And on paper, the proof, he's seen me twice. A total time of 10 or 15 minutes. And he said it's overwhelming. Nobody can see my case for 10 or 15 minutes and take me to trial. So, when I write by the law, first thing first is give my freedom. Second thing is to do much for the community as I can. And do my best to rebuild the culture of hip hop. I'm not in it to be a label anymore. I'm in it to do all those things because it's a younger guy's turn. You got so many great artists that can be great.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
And I owe it to my family. Go see my mother's grave. I wasn't able to see my mother buried. So, this stage of my life, I'm coming home to do whatever I can do to help. It also starts with me. So I've been working on me, staying focused. I feel that, shout out to Mike Tyson, one of my best friends in the whole wide world. I had to throw that in there because somebody told me yesterday, did you see Tyson fight? Tyson look old. I said, yeah. I said, Tyson made $20 million. If you live to be 200 more years on Earth, you would never make $20 million. So, how great is that? But I can say it, but really the main thing is to go out and do some stuff with you, man. I want to really, really be involved in the culture of hip-hop, being as strong as it should be, and it will be. And there's nothing wrong with the truth. There's nothing wrong with taking accountability for mistakes I did or anybody else. That's basically it, Oh, by the way, Ms. Harris, you forgot something. Did you know I just had my son arrested? His mother, as you know, is toy. They arrested her, let her do time, and no one else but her. And they used that to make me think my deal. So we can say a lot of things about women don't be strong. I think the strongest thing we have is women. Women, period. But women are so strong, they always support it, as long as we right or wrong. That's basically what it is. And we're all on the same page. Trying to make things better, not worse. Man, we're gonna link up, man. We're gonna chop it up.
Come to England, man.
We're gonna really do some man, check this out, man. Much as I love the West Coast, sometimes man, I would like to hang around out the country and enjoy myself a little bit. My youngest son, he playing basketball. So we gotta wait for that. I'm damn sure I'll come visit. And anything I can do to make it better, I'm gonna do just that. I'll take any shots I need to take to make the culture of hip hop where it should be. And it's nothing better than these new artists. I wish them all the best. They are the best.
And I still wear my beanie, Shug. My partner laughs at me when I wear my beanie at nights when I'm sleeping.
We go through it, but ain't no complaints. And sometimes you talk to certain people and they will have an attitude. How you got an attitude and you argue? When you get off the phone, you get to do anything you want to do. If they stressed out, they can have a drink. They can even smoke some weed. I can't even smoke a cigar. What I got right here is what I got. And at the same time, it's been 10 years. I ain't had a bad day yet. We got to change the fact that white American laws stay tested. And over the years, all the laws in black people's grief. It's not about racism. We should be past that. It's about fair. If somebody do 3 murders and they get no time, then somebody can really try to kill me and I get away and I get all this time. Don't make sense. Fair is fair, right is right, wrong is wrong.
And people don't appreciate what they've got until they lose it.
Yeah, man. But look, it's great talking to you. Worked hard on my case. I did my Hades myself. I studied, reading, going to the law out there. I need a question to ask somebody. There's somebody here that knew a little bit more than me sometimes, so I wasn't embarrassed to ask. Now I got myself in court and got right. I got the right lawyers to deliver my freedom. But it should be fair all the way across the board. They following law. I'll see y'all in another year. Appreciate it. Signing off. One of the things I thought was really crazy with the politics side of it, everybody mad at Jay-Z for saying he putting Kendrick to perform at the Super Bowl. First of all, you got to give Kendrick Lamar cigars. That's like one of the best artists in the industry. So he deserved that. But Jay is not making that decision. Jimmy Iovine still makes those decisions. That's why when Mary J. Blige got an award one year, she says, Jimmy called me and got me to perform at the Super Bowl when it was in L.A. Because like now, it's an Interscope artist, which is Kendrick, and probably going to promote other Interscope artists because it's Jimmy Iovine making those decisions. So when Nicki Minaj or Wayne or anybody else get mad at Jay, they should be having a conversation with Jimmy. But hands down, Kendrick Lamar deserved to be performing at.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
Who's better than Kendrick? I would like to see Kendrick bring out J-Rock, making some real West Coast shit. Besides that, if you take Puffy, Jimmy Iovine and Puffy was hand in hand. When they beat up the girl Capricorn and Jimmy made her take a check and he paid her to not get Puffy in trouble. This is like Jimmy and Andre doing all these things and these awards and open up centers when everybody know in black and white, Andre beat up more than I can't get to nobody else. He beat up more bitches than I can Tina Turner because I can only beat up one. Still honor for them to honor him because who's in his corner. So the blame a lot of times is on the person who's along all this stuff. Because they don't care because they don't care about our culture. They don't care about the culture of hip-hop. They just care about their individual things. Then you got Snoop and you got the Lion King. Not the Lion King, the Liar King. A liar. So you kind of like Michael Harris going around saying he had something to do with Death Row, which is a lie. He named Death Row, which is a lie. But more importantly, they don't have nothing to do with Death Row or own Death Row because Kendrick Lamar is able to use a Tupac track with no problem because Interscope own it. They didn't want to say Interscope own it because what Jimmy did illegally to work me out my company was a plan. They offered me $700 million. First they offered me $500 million, then $700 million. I didn't want to settle, so they committed fraud against me. And at the same time, when you look at it, they let a guy who lied so much and it's proof. I didn't want to say that at the point where they were shaking everybody down. It's because the fact that I didn't want nobody to not get out of prison. Michael Harris is a baby killer. And they didn't make a big deal out of it because he laughed about it, said because it was a Jewish kid. And these are facts.
Wow.
So, facts. If anybody says it's not facts, you can read it for yourself. That's how deep it is. But they will overlook that because they want my company that bad. But I'm going to get my shit back. But all these lies and lies and lies, there's nothing wrong with the truth. No matter who it is, whether there's nothing wrong with the truth. But the West Coast, we are the most powerful, driven culture of our own. So everybody want to get mad because Kendrick performing. But how could you talk about Kendrick when all the people who's talking live on the West Coast and you from somewhere else? So it makes no sense to me. But once again, people come from other states, live in our state, and want to take our business away or act like us. And Kendrick said it best. They're not us. It shouldn't have to be East Coast, West Coast, down south, all this stuff. But let's just deal with the truth and give the cigars when the cigars are due. And more importantly, we got to stop letting history repeat itself. Ray J, you out there pounding on your chest, starting all this weird shit. I can't even say it's weird shit. You pounding on your chest, getting into it with Puffy kids. Puffy kids pounding on their chest, getting into it with you. Remember one thing. That East Coast, West Coast war, I feel we won it. But Puffy used people from neighborhoods out here. You used some people from Compton to go against us, and that destroyed their neighborhood. That destroyed everything they worked hard to build, all because of Puffy recruited you motherfuckers. All because one dude wouldn't even been an informant if it weren't for Puffy. He wouldn't be sitting in prison right now if it wasn't for Puffy. Snoop wouldn't be looked upon crazy if it weren't for Puffy. So, don't let history repeat itself. So, don't be recruiting nobody to get at Ray J. Ray J, don't be letting motherfuckers pump you up to start a war. Because majority of the people on the West Coast is not following you because you've been living with this man. And your people you fuck with the people who's not with us.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
It shouldn't have to be a difference. Let's do what's best for the culture of hip-hop. Let's do what's best to make the truth be told. Let's stop letting all these people get on these platforms and do a bunch of lying. Now, for the liar king, Mike, to get on the Breakfast Club and say he started Death Row, that's a lie. He came with the name, are you out your fucking mind? Because the paperwork doesn't lie. I came with the name Death Row. I had the registered name Death Row. It was a guy named Unknown who had Death Row, but he named like Def Jam. When I first talked to him, I said, look, are you gay? He said, why you say that? I said, because you calling yourself, you naming your shit after Russell Simmons. I named my shit after the real Death Row. And everybody knows that Russell and all those guys were playing with each other buttholes the whole time, the whole journey. If it weren't for Kamora, Russell's wife, Russell wouldn't be shit. She validated, let everybody know that Russell got to be a great man because you got a down-ass bitch who's beautiful. But we can't be gay. It was opposite. But at the same time, you let this guy make up these lies. You guys follow these lies. I will not allow nobody remove my history of what I've done and who I am. I had bread and money and shit going on before any of these shit because I always been a go-getter. And at the same time, if anybody think they're better than me, I salute them because you're doing what's best for hip-hop. But if you still doing everything that I've done, my relationship with Tupac, I'm the only person that started putting a company's name on a chain. Death Row Records on the chain. So if you in the same category as I, and you've been promoting this for 4 years, what have y'all done? Show me the paperwork where you own something. If you can't tell the truth, pipe down before motherfuckers get put the fuck down. That's all I gotta say. That's all I'm about. I'm about building right now. I have not one thing negative to say about no one. If somebody's doing great, I'm proud of them. I'm happy for them. There's nothing wrong with the truth. And the truth is the truth. I sign off. I'm Suge Knight. I'm out.